All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to take a raw first person dream account and break it down, turning this wild, surreal journey into the epic story it really is. So let's just dive right in.
Let's kick things off with this question, right? Because to really get this story, you've got to be willing to step into a world that, well, it just doesn't play by our rules. A world born from a dream, yeah, but with stakes that feel incredibly, incredibly real.
So, every great story needs a world with rules, and this dream world is no different. This first part of the journey is all about establishing this bizarre and frankly very dangerous landscape. Okay, so in this world, there's this one huge, unchangeable law: the time crystal. And the rule is simple. If you get too close, we're talking a 2-meter radius. When lightning strikes it, you're permanently turned to stone. And there's no known way to reverse it. So you can imagine, this one single rule just hangs over every single decision, every moment.
The setting itself is just fascinating. Our narrator is on this expedition inside a giant volcano, but the world is this chaotic mix of stuff. You've got ancient ruins sitting right next to modern mining gear, scaffolding, elevators, even laptops. And get this, he actually mentions using crane hooks to swing around like Spider-Man. It's this brilliant, weird blend of old and new that makes the whole world feel so surreal.
And of course, what's an adventure without some monsters, right? This world has 3 distinct classes. First up, Class 1, these bizarre little 2-legged flower creatures, which he describes as like a demogorgon head on legs. Kind of creepy. Then you've got Class 2, these 8-foot-tall hunched humanoids. And finally, the ones you really, really don't want to run into, the Class 3s. Giant, deadly, lizard-dinosaur hybrids. Yeah, no thanks.
So, we've got the world, we've got its rules, and we've got its dangers. But this is where the entire story just flips on its head and the stakes get a whole lot higher.
And then, just out of nowhere, with no explanation, because remember, it's a dream, the narrator suddenly has his 1-year-old daughter with him. And just like that, boom, the mission is not about exploration anymore. It taps into a feeling I think every parent knows, that sudden, overwhelming gut punch of a need to protect.
And you can see that change right here. The entire focus just shifts. What started out as this grand adventure becomes a desperate fight for survival. The mission of discovery completely transforms into the raw, powerful mission of fatherhood, protecting this child no matter what.
Okay, so to survive, our narrator and his daughter join up with a band of survivors. They're led by a woman named Barry, and they're looking for safety in numbers. But this leads them straight into the story's central crisis, a moment of absolutely brutal betrayal. So the group is raiding this abandoned store, right? And their leader, Barry, suddenly announces that a hostile group is coming. Her plan seems simple enough. Hey, everybody turn off the lights, lie on the floor, play dead. She promises them this is how they're all going to survive. But then she turns the lights on, and as the attackers enter, she says this. She literally offers up her own people. It's an absolutely chilling moment. And look, while the setting is a dream, that feeling of being betrayed by someone you trust, man, that's as real as it gets. In all the chaos, the narrator grabs his daughter and just leaps over a railing, down into the water below to escape. But now, he's being hunted by his own former bandmates. He eventually confronts them, not with a weapon, but with a desperate plea for his daughter's life. And this is the heart of it all. This is his entire motivation. He's not just fighting to live, he's fighting to embody what it actually means to be a father. And incredibly, in this moment of just raw, universal honesty, his pursuers let him go. So they escape, but their journey is far from over. They flee back to the volcano, where our narrator discovers a new, completely mind-bending challenge. A maze that doesn't just play with space, but with time itself. Yeah, it turns out this isn't just some physical labyrinth you can map out. It's something far, far stranger, a construct that literally bends the very fabric of reality. The properties of this maze are just wild. Some paths flip gravity completely upside down. Others can send you backward or forward in time. The maze actually captures instances of every decision you ever made, creating all these alternate versions of you. At one point, he even sees a 2-year-old version of his daughter, even though she's only 1 in his time. And he realizes his chances of surviving an encounter with another version of himself pretty slim. By some miracle, he manages to backtrack and escape the maze, finding his way back to the main cavern of the volcano. But his ordeal is not over. It's time for one final desperate stand. And this is where it all comes together. The monsters attack, and he uses the environment he explored earlier. He grabs a crane rope, swinging with just one hand, all while holding his daughter safely in his other arm. I mean, can you even imagine the strength, the sheer protective instinct driving that moment? And as soon as his feet hit the ground, he opens fire, fighting them back. It's just this powerful cinematic climax to his entire journey as a protector. And then, salvation. A helicopter arrives to extract them. He kind of suspects that might be his old expedition team, but he's not really sure. The dream ends right there, on a note of escape, but still shrouded in a little bit of mystery. They're safe, at least for now. Which brings us to our final thought. The world was surreal, right? The events were impossible. But the fear, the betrayal, and most importantly, that overwhelming love and protective instinct of a father for his daughter, all of that was profoundly real. So it leaves us with this question. If the emotions are real, how much does it matter that the story itself was just a dream?